Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people. I know I'm extremely late to the party, but considering that my channel is called Sanjay Uchiha, I thought it'd be appropriate to do a review for Naruto Shippuden episodes 476 and 477. Alright, I mean, I read the manga till the end 2 years ago, up to chapter 700. So, going into these episodes, I had high expectations. Honestly speaking, I watched up to episode like 438 of the anime, and then I dropped off for like God knows how long. And when I heard that they finally got to this point, I just thought, yeah, it's time. So I actually skipped like 32 episodes, and I started watching from like 470. I got those, watched, and then just to prepare, kind of get into the mood to actually watch and review this fight. And I must say, this will really be like my raw review impressions. Studio Period, if I'm pronouncing that right, they didn't disappoint at all. Like, just generally speaking, it really felt like movie quality animation. Like, I was watching back a scene from the Boruto movie the other day, and looking at it, honestly, it felt like the episodes 476 and 477 had better animation than even the Boruto movie. And that says a lot, trust me. But yeah, I mean, get into it really. Studio Period, I had expected them to really add in extra fight scenes, which they did. And I must say, the extra fight scene at the beginning, the extra taijutsu fight scene, that was beautiful. Beautiful, trust me. The choreography right there, I mean, it's not anything, I guess, that's too out of, character for Naruto and Sasuke. I mean, it just fits right in with what we, as an add-on to what we got where the manga is concerned. Because obviously, Kishi would have had limited, I guess, time and pages to really, I guess, execute this fight, so it's only natural where the anime is concerned that we get these extra fight scenes. And trust me, seeing Naruto's use of, his handy use of the shadow clones as usual, seeing Sasuke make use of the Rinnegan, that almighty pull, gold right there, and the Inferno style, perfect. And it really transitions well into the scenes that we actually did get in the manga. I mean, and I must say that the OSTs that were used, oh god. I mean, apart from the ones that I believe were from part 1 Naruto, we had some pretty epic OSTs for this fight. But yeah, I'll get back to the OSTs a little later down the line. So yeah, we get the initial taijutsu scene, eventually Naruto going to 6-path Sage mode, Sasuke pulling out that Susanoo, firing fireballs. I know I'm kind of rambling, but this is kind of like my raw impression, as I said. But yeah, I mean, getting into it, the clash of the titans. So Sasuke eventually pulls off the Susanoo, perfect Susanoo, and Naruto with the Nine Tails cloak, 6-path Sage mode. It's pretty epic. It really is the clash of the titans. But one thing I really loved seeing is that they brought back Sasuke using the Kirin in this fight, and I really didn't expect him to use it at all. I remember back in the day when I was reading the manga, I was thinking we should have really made him go all out for the fight. I mean, they did, but in terms of the use of more techniques, and I'm glad the animators, the staff over there by Studio Period, they really decided to actually add that in. I mean, well, what more can I say? The fight was really executed, I guess, perfectly. I couldn't ask for anything more. And then even scenes, the flashbacks. I mean, Naruto is a series that everybody can, I guess, either complain or love it for its flashbacks. But you can't deny that a lot of flashbacks have been overused. But in this case, I think the flashbacks they weren't too overbearing. They didn't like drag you out of the fight for too long. They were just right, and I really like that. And it was really the same for the manga 2 years ago. It didn't really drag on for too long. And I must give props, I guess, for the execution and direction that the director for the episode took for these 2 episodes. Um, I must say as well that one one scene that I particularly liked, especially with the combination of the OST that was used, was at the end of 476, the start of 477, when Sasuke called over all the tail beasts and started siphoning off their chakra. The OST that was used there was godlike. God Sasuke. Then we get Sasuke absorbing, the chakra of all the tail beasts, powering up his Susanoo, kind of using it like a Geromazo statue. The music, I know I keep kind of repeating, but the music throughout this fight, totally perfect. So, we eventually get up to the point where we get this Dragon Ball-esque fight in the sky, some extra fight scenes here and there. And then we get to, I guess, Sasuke's quote-unquote most powerful lightning-based technique, Indra's Arrow versus Naruto's, I believe it's 6 paths, Udama Rasen Shuriken and 6 paths, Tail Beast Rasen Shuriken. That clash. Yeah, that's another thing I must say. When these 2 attacks clash, the explosion. That was another thing about these 2 episodes. The animators really displayed how good they can make the explosions look in these 2 episodes. Honestly, I'm not over-exaggerating, people. These 2 episodes were straight up movie quality. I guess they didn't waste any time with all the filler that was going on. And yes, I know, I probably should get back to actually watching those 32 episodes I skipped, because I know they do include some flashbacks to the Sage of the 6 Paths time with Indra and Ashura and Kaguya. But I hear some things were presented that contradict, things that were already established. But I'll see what happens when I actually watch that. But getting into the last segment of this fight is the taijutsu part that we did actually get in the manga. And it was probably one of my favorite parts of the fight, because it was just, if there's one thing, I guess a Naruto fan, I guess probably all Naruto fans can say, is that taijutsu always seems to, I don't know, it just gets me hyped. It would get a Naruto fan hyped. All the ninjutsu and tail beast bomb and genjutsu is cool and all, but taijutsu just has a special flair to it, and especially when it's this brutal. One thing I didn't like though is that it just felt like it was a bit more bloody or brutal in the manga when Naruto and Sasuke are going at it at this last part here. They're duking it out for the entire day, which is pretty insane. But yeah, it was still pretty brutal in the anime, and I really like that. We got to see a bit of them bringing back old techniques like the Uzumaki Barrage. Sasuke still making use of that good old Sharingan. But yeah, it really came down to that fist fights, which I loved so much. But yeah, and then eventually it got to the point where in the final clash, I must applaud the voice actor for Sasuke. Because throughout this fight, Sasuke has been, he's been gradually getting more frustrated with how Naruto refuses to die and refuses to give up. Yeah, refuses to give up, sorry. And it got to the point where they hardly had any chakra left, and Sasuke stole some of Naruto's chakra, tried to finish him off. Naruto uppercuts him up to the cliff, and Sasuke comes out, and the voice actor gave such this beautiful performance of how Naruto just won't refuse to give up. It really showed how frustrated Sasuke was. I must applaud the voice actor. Beautiful right there. Yeah, so the fight really ends off with, of course, the expected Naruto, Rasengan, Sasuke, Shidori, but he add an Inferno style to it. And it was a there was a touching scene. Oh, I don't want to say it was the feels were there, but I wouldn't say it's like overly emotional when the Nine Tails Kurama was having a little monologue about Naruto, and they're probably like, yeah, he's the one for the tail beast essentially, so he'll definitely be able to save Sasuke essentially. That's basically what he was saying, and we see them bumping fists before he, I guess, goes off to sleep because he ended up giving Naruto the last of his chakra. And yeah, we got that Chidori versus Rasengan clash at the end there. And there was this extra scene they added with when Naruto was, I guess, creating the Rasengan. We got essentially the hands of all those who contributed to Naruto's life, you know. It was pretty symbolic for Naruto's character, you know, because he's the character that, you know, really, I guess, went out of his way to create bonds with people. So it was really symbolic right there. I don't remember if there was any for Sasuke. There probably might have been one, but all in all, it all falls back in line with their characters. So they clash and they destroy the rest of the valley. Fine, that's my raw impression, essentially. Should I really go into, I guess, what I think about, I guess, the mindset or the goals of what Sasuke and Naruto were debating over? Yeah, I should. Alright, so honestly, Sasuke, in this case, Sasuke has a stronger argument than Naruto. Well, I think so, at least. As in, Sasuke really wants to do away with the old system, the old way of doing things, essentially. And he's reasoning that Akatsuki, Madara, Kaguya, the five great nations only banded together because it was essential to their survival in facing these threats. So Sasuke is reasoning that without a common threat now, things will eventually, I guess, decline, or they'll go back to the way they were before, in which there'll be warring faction. The villagers will basically be warring among each other, essentially. The cycle of hatred will continue, etc., etc. Now, I'm a Sasuke fan. I guess you could say respect. I guess I rate Naruto and Sasuke on equal terms. I respect them both equally towards the end of the series. But I can see where Sasuke is coming from, essentially, and I really like Sasuke's development over the series. I probably should talk more on that in another video. But yeah, so Sasuke essentially wants to become the central figure where everybody will who everybody will hate. That everybody will hate, essentially. And then he'll essentially create a new system. It's basically a dictatorship, but he wants to remove the darkness that exists within the village, which I kind of see it as the darkness within the villages really speaks to that a lot of the higher-ups weren't made accountable for their actions, essentially. So Sasuke wants to remove that and become the sole person who dish out punishment, the laws for the shinobi, and he also wants to remove the tail beasts out of the equation, because the tail beasts have been a means for people to actually, I guess, execute their agenda. They're part of the old system, essentially, where people use them as a means for power, weaponizing, and essentially they were a part of the darkness that, I guess, consumed the villages. And by extension, since Naruto at this point is like a pseudo Jinchuriki for, I guess, all the tail beasts, by extension, Sasuke does want to kill Naruto as well. That's one of the reasons he really wants to kill Naruto at this point. But apart from that, he believes that his version of the Hokage is one that really needs to bear all the burdens alone, essentially, as well. So he really wants to remove Naruto out of the equation, because Naruto is the only other person that's left that he really views as a true friend. So yeah, and on Naruto's side, of course, Naruto's not gonna let Sasuke kill him, but apart from that, he just really wants to save his friend from, I guess, going down the road of bearing all this hatred and loneliness already, especially since that's where they're coming from as kids. So Naruto and Sasuke understands what Naruto is trying to do as well. So that's the cool part about this. They both understand each other, but even so, the fight must go on. Really, their experiences throughout the series is what's really led them to this, I guess, their points in this debate. Because Naruto goes with the notion that yes, there are some things that you can't do alone, and that's what he's really trying to get across to Sasuke as well. But yeah, I really like I guess how the characters are really, I guess, reasoning out things, trying to put their points across. But yeah, all in all, these 2 episodes, great, as I mentioned at the start of this video. Amazing movie quality, animation, choreography, fight sequences, just amazing. If you're a Naruto fan, if you're not even a Naruto fan, I'd recommend you to watch these 2 episodes, Shippuden 476 and 477, because they're just that good, honestly. You don't really have to know what's going on, because I'm just really recommending it based on, I guess, the fight sequences. But yeah, and as I said, the use of flashbacks didn't really take you out of the fights for too long. And these are some epic scenes, honestly. Like, I kinda I can imagine if they were fighting in the Leaf Village. The village would have been decimated like 10 times over. Man, what more can I say? I've talked about the animation, choreography. Were there any other points that I liked in the fights? Yeah, there was a point where Naruto threw Sasuke into the wall at the beginning of the fight. The extra taijutsu scenes they added at the beginning. That was pretty fun. I like the Almighty Pull. Sasuke using the Rinnegan. That wasn't in the manga. That was a nice addition. What else can I say I really liked about it? The Kirin, of course, that lightning dragon. Natural lightning. But yeah, all in all, I'd say if Studio Parrot was really stalling for time to do this fight, then they did a 100 out of 10 plus job. But yeah, this is my Naruto Shippuden episode 476, 477 review / impression / ramble. I don't know, let me know what you think. If you haven't watched the episode, watch it and tell me what you think. I'm gonna try, probably by next week, I don't know, I'm gonna try and start doing some more Naruto segments on my channel. I know this is for a lengthy video, but it's a 2 episode in one review / impression, etc, etc. But yeah, the fight was great. So comment, rate, subscribe, share. If there's something like a certain topic in Naruto you want me to talk on, I don't know, leave a comment below, let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. I don't know if I might do like a follow-up miniature, like compress in review / impression, but for now, this is it. See you in the next one.